who are you?
Okay, so I am Lindsay.
How long have you lived in Chester?
And I've lived in Chester for 20 years this year.
Would you rather have really long arms or really long legs?
Oh yeah, I think really long arms so that I can reach everything and do lots of jobs at the same time.
Where would you most like to go on holiday?
Oh, I'd really love to go to Israel because that's where Jesus lived and walked, and I'd love to go where he was and see all the things that he saw.
If you could have one ability that an animal has, what would it be?
I'm gonna go with wings like a bird. I'd love to be able to soar over everywhere and just fly off. That'd be great.
What's the best thing for you about being a Christian?
That is a really tricky one because there's loads of great things about being a Christian, but I think just knowing that God is with me all the time, so if I'm on my own or if I'm with a group of people, that God is with me, that I just can talk to him all the time, anytime, about anything. I just love that God's always listening.
Tell us a little bit about your favourite Bible story.
Oh, okay, so without telling you what it is, my favourite Bible story has got all the different kind of characters in it. So it's got goodies and baddies, king and queen. And what I love about this story is that the girl is the heroine of the story. She saves the day and she's just really brave and courageous. And I believe in the story that God put her right in the right place for the right time. And that just reminds me that I am at the right place at the right time and that God is always able to use me.
So what is your favourite Bible story?
So my favourite Bible story is Esther.
Thanks, Lindsay.
God has been so good to us.
Queen Esther said to her cousin Mordecai.
I mean, who would have thought that even though we were foreigners, God has treated us so kindly, and who would have thought I would be queen?
But even as she spoke, the evil Prime Minister was plotting against them.
Oh, I hate those Jews, especially that man Mordecai. Well, he's even refusing to bow to me now. Well, that'll soon come to an end. I persuaded the king to have them all killed.
When Esther found out, she was terrified.
This is terrible, and what's more, the king doesn't even know that I'm a Jew.
But Esther was brave and clever, and soon she had a plan.
I know. I will go to the king. I will save all the Jews and myself.
As she walked through the throne room, she knew she was risking her life. If the king was angry at being interrupted, he would not hold out his royal sceptre, and she would be sentenced to death.
God must really be with me. My lord, the king, I have come to invite you to a banquet tomorrow. And please bring the Prime Minister Haman with you.
Esther, that sounds like a wonderful idea. Let's do it.
That night, the king could not sleep. He opened his diaries to look back over his reign, and soon began to read about the day when a Jew called Mordecai had saved his life.
I've forgotten all about that. I must make sure this man Mordecai gets a reward.
The next morning, the Prime Minister was summoned to the palace.
I really am important. The king simply can't do without me. Yes, I'm going to ask him a favour today. I simply have to get rid of that Mordecai. Yes, today I'm going to ask for him and his people to be killed.
Haman, what shall I do for a man I want to honour?
It's me. The king wants to honour me. Well, your majesty.
Yes?
What you must do is give him an amazing robe to wear, and then one of your best horses, and someone to lead that man on a horse through the streets, and that person say, "See, this is the man that I honour as king."
What a fantastic idea, Haman, thank you. I would like you to go and do that for Mordecai, please.
Right.
The Prime Minister was furious. On that very day, he was hoping to have Mordecai killed. The king was honouring him like this. So Mordecai was given the king's robe and the king's horse, and Haman had no choice but to obey.
See how the king honours this man. The king thinks this man is amazing.
That night, after they had eaten, the Prime Minister was very quiet, but the king was in a good mood.
So tell me, Esther, is there anything else that you would like from me? Tell me what you wish and you will have it, up to half my kingdom.
Well, my lord the king, if you are pleased with me, then this is my request. That you would please save my life and the life of all my people. For there's been a plot to kill us. Every one of us must die.
What? Who on earth could have come up with such a plot?
This man, this wicked man, Haman.
And so the king had Haman arrested, and Queen Esther and all the Jewish people lived in safety.
We must thank God that he has been good to us again.
And Mordecai nodded in agreement.
So Esther was brave and she was bold. Like I said at the beginning, this is one of my favourite stories. And that's because there's a verse in the Bible that says that Esther was put in this place for such a time as this. That meant that she was put in the palace and became queen just at the right time, being in the right place to make that right choice so that she could save her people. But just like Joshua had a choice to obey God or not, so did Esther. But she trusted God. She knew the stories that God had rescued her people over the years, and that she knew that this was her time to be a star. That's what her name means. Esther means star. And she knew that this was her chance. And so she risked her own life, putting her people first so that she could rescue them, because she loved God and she loved her people. And so I believe that just like Esther, you too can be in the right place at the right time to do the right thing, to make the right choice. And sometimes that might mean being brave, it might mean being bold, and it might mean putting others before yourself. But you can be a star like Esther, and you can make good choices. And like Esther, you can know that God is with you and he's there to help you. And you might just see the most amazing things happen. So we're going to pray. And let's think about how we can be brave and bold, and maybe how we can put others before ourselves today. So God, thank you that you were with Esther and that she had a really important job to do, and that she needed to be brave and bold, but she trusted you to be with her. Help us to know that you are with us and that you have important things for us to do too. Help us to be willing to put others before ourselves, and help us to be brave. And everyone said, Amen. Fantastic. See you next week.